in all the time I've not been drinking, which is a combination of sort of putting together months at a time using willpower, and then finally finding what works in January 2020, throughout that time, all the time I've remained sober and I've socialised, I've gone to parties or what have you, I've only ever had one occasion where somebody mentioned alcohol to me. You know, and I know a few people and I like to socialise. I like that connection, I like that human contact. It's very good for us. But in all that time, in, you know, collectively what is years of sobriety, I've only ever had one person give me a dig. And they literally did. They just sort of gave me an elbow and just inquired, you know, what's all this not drinking alcohol business about? One person, one time, one occasion. And that was the first party I went to sober. It was a 40th birthday party. I think I was probably the only person not drinking there. And it was a breeze, you know. And what we can do is, and I'm in two minds about sharing this stuff, because I think some people will find it a bit sort of out there, for want of better words. But communication, like any very small part of communication, is verbal. You know, we give off, you know, we have energy fields and other people pick up on that. So what you can do, if you're worried about peer pressure, maybe you've experienced it in the past to the point where you actually drank, or you're worried about peer pressure in the future, depending on where you are in your journey, what we can do is create that aura around us where you become totally unfuckable with. I love that expression, totally unfuckable with. It's also a bit ironic because the person that I learnt this stuff from, which is based on ancient Vedic wisdom, which is time tested over 4,000 years and proven over 4,000 years, he was a person that doesn't like swearing. And there's some sort of reasons he has for that, which I respect, obviously, but I also understand. I try not to swear and pretty much fail miserably. It's something that I'm working on. But he doesn't like swearing, and you know, I've spent a fair amount of time with this guy at, you know, various events, socialising, hanging out. One thing I noticed is that nobody ever swears around this guy, and it's not because he's like seen as a religious figure or anything like that. It's just people don't do it because they behave differently in his presence. So we can do the same thing with ourselves and around other people, so that they know, you know, without even speaking to them. You know, this guy doesn't go around saying, look, you better not swear around me because I don't like swearing and I'm really important, so you better not do it. None of that. It's completely unspoken. And the way in which we do it is meditation. And, you know, this could be a 4-hour video of meditation, but we don't have time. But in our Facebook group, I'll be sharing meditation. I'll be giving you a ton of information, resources, and maybe even some guided meditations. But, you know, when we're completely content within ourselves, when we're completely centered, we communicate that with other people. And it works. But if we're all over the shop and we're not regulating our mood because we're maybe eating badly, like in the other video I talked about, then we can have situations where we are receiving peer pressure. And, you know, it's very easy to slip into sort of meeting people on their level, you know, where we have to like defend ourselves, to sort of stand our ground. And I've never received peer pressure from close friends, strangers, anybody. And I don't think that's by coincidence. You know, and meditation is a great practice to do anyway. You know, most people, you know, don't even have the ability to sit down and just stop and switch off their thoughts. That's how we live these days. You know, we've got so much stimulation, so much pressure, so much stress that people get so used to it that they just can't stop and slow down. You know, and meditation is like your superpower. It makes you bulletproof. And it gives you presence. And when you have the right presence, people generally don't want to mess with it. So it's just an incredibly powerful practice that has all sorts of benefits, as well as, you know, just you remaining completely centered in what is a world that's always going to be crazy around us. You know, we can't do much about that, but we can control what's happening internally. And the best way to regulate that and maintain your power is through meditation. So in the Facebook group, there'll be a link below this video to that Facebook group. If you've stumbled across this on YouTube and you're not in our Facebook community, the link to that group, like-minded supportive individuals, is down below. So as always, if you have questions, if I can help you in any way, do add comments down below, ask questions and so on, and I'll be delighted to read them and reply to them. All right, I will see you sometime soon. Take care out there.